PlumpyNut was invented in 1997 by a French pediatric nutritionist named André Briand. Dr. Briand had somewhat of a eureka moment by a jar of Nutella which he used as his inspiration. After many stages of rejection and innovation, Dr. Briand finally found the perfect product to help cure pediatric malnutrition across the world. PlumpyNut is a registered trademark of Nutriset, a French company that first manufactured and marketed the paste. UNICEF, the world's primary buyer, purchases approximately 90% of PlumpyNut's supply and distributes it to impoverished countries. It has significantly lowered the mortality rates due to famine in Africa. Children that eat PlumpyNut go from a near-death state to a relatively healthy state usually within 1 month of consistent consumption. PlumpyNut is a high-protein and energy peanut-based paste that is packed with calories and specially formulated to re-nourish starving children. It requires no water, refrigeration, or preparation, and has a shelf life of up to 2 years. Dr. Briand's recipe was meant to be made by the poor people, for the poor people, to the benefit of patients and farmers alike. Children can also feed themselves since the packaging and consistency make it so easy to eat. Because of PlumpyNut's high caloric makeup, children add pounds rapidly, allowing them to rise into an improved nutritional state.
PlumpyNut is referred to as a multi-micronutrient-macronutrient spread for children ages 6 to 24 months. It is a beige paste that looks like tan mashed potatoes, but tastes like sweetened peanut butter. It is made from ground peanuts, sugar, powdered milk, and fortified with many vitamins and minerals. The relatively high iron content, 11.53 milligrams per serving, is important according to the Office of Dietary Supplements. Iron is an important component of your muscles, and it helps regulate the growth of cells. Peanuts contain monounsaturated fats, which are easy to digest. They are also high in vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps to convert food to energy. Most of the world's peanuts are grown in developing countries where allergies to peanuts are relatively uncommon, which allows almost all malnourished children eligible to receive this treatment. The paste is rich in zinc and protein. Both are good for the immune system and also aid long bone growth to reverse stunted height. Protein is also needed for muscle development. The vegetable oil in the peanut butter masks its otherwise unpleasant taste. Not only is it nutritious, but it does not contain water, therefore is resistant to bacterial contamination, even after the packet is opened.
Traditionally, severe acute malnutrition required administration from a doctor and typically involved a long stay at the hospital. Because of this, many parents were unable to take their children away from home for so long. With PlumpyNut, the idea was that parents can easily feed it to their children without having to be hospitalized. PlumpyNut was first tested in Southeast Africa in the country of Malawi. It was used by Dr. Mark Mannery, a pediatrician and professor working at a local hospital. The malnutrition ward was overfilled with deathly ill and starving children. Dr. Malari made a bold move and decided to send all of his malnutrition patients home with the newly developed PlumpyNut. This outraged many other doctors who believed this to be unsafe. The results, however, were outstanding when it was found that 95% of all the at-home subjects who received PlumpyNut made a full recovery. This helped to encourage further use of PlumpyNut for cases of malnutrition and in emergency relief situations. During a 2005 famine in Niger, PlumpyNut was distributed to 60,000 children with severe acute malnutrition. Of these children, 90% showed a complete recovery due to the nutritional value of PlumpyNut. It is still believed, however, that only 10 to 15% of those who need it actually get PlumpyNut. Death among malnutrition children went from 35% to a mere 5% thanks to PlumpyNut.
UNICEF pays $60 to purchase and ship a box of 150 packets from the main producer and patent holder of PlumpyNut, Nutriset, in France. A single packet of PlumpyNut costs 6 cents. Treatment often lasts 4 to 8 weeks, but generally health is restored after about a month. So the average cost for a monthly supply of PlumpyNut for the families of the afflicted children is $20. Last year alone, Nutriset registered $66 million in sales and increased their production tenfold, showing exactly how lucrative saving lives can be.
Nutriset has adamantly protected its intellectual property rights to PlumpyNut. There has been much international debate over who should control production. In some countries like India, they have banned the product because it is considered a colonialist import. In countries like Haiti, which is experiencing a hunger crisis after recent natural disasters, Nutriset's patent is simply ignored. Partners in Health is a charity in Haiti that uses peanuts from local farms as well as 200 small farms to create a similar product called Nori Manba. Patents are meant to give inventors an incentive to generate new concepts by giving them exclusive rights to profit from their ideas for a limited period of time. However, many people feel that there should be exceptions for life-saving remedies. Similar to the debate over the price of AIDS drugs in Africa, the price of PlumpyNut has been brought under scrutiny. At $60 per child for a 2-month treatment, it is relatively expensive. This is largely because Nutriset is the only major supplier. Stéphane Doyon, a nutritional specialist with Doctors Without Borders, says, "We were concerned because of the way Nutriset was managing their intellectual property. We felt that there was the possibility for the creation of a monopoly." The market is expected to grow even larger with recommendations from the World Bank for aid agencies to extend their budget from $300 million to $6 billion for malnutrition prevention. Many startup companies have been warned by Nutriset that any attempt to sell a similar product will be fiercely pursued in court. Nutriset claims that its vigilance over its patents is intended to keep large industrial companies like PepsiCo from entering the market. It is believed that this might cause therapeutic products to be ambassadors for the brand's other products, like sodas and snacks. More lawsuits brought by nonprofit companies in the United States are challenging the patent, but even their intentions are unclear. The real solution is to promote production in the developing countries that use the product. Steve Collins, a pioneer advocate for home-based treatment of malnutrition, says, "I wouldn't want to see a new world order where poor people are dependent on packaged supplementary foods that are manufactured in Europe or the United States." His view represents the dilemma of how profits on such life-saving products should be distributed.
Nutriset has started a movement with the objective of conquering childhood malnutrition, a devilishly simple solution that intends to allow impoverished nations to combat malnutrition in a self-sufficient and dignified manner. Although Nutriset claims that it is working towards expanding production in these developing countries, 90% is still purchased by UNICEF through the France-based company. Arguably, the overarching issue not being addressed in third world countries is reducing their dependence on foreign aid. This would be an important and dignifying step for many countries stricken with malnutrition and other symptoms of severe poverty. Furthermore, these life-saving inventions, like PlumpyNut, invoke an important ideological debate over who, if anyone, should reap the economic benefits of aiding the less fortunate.